go Xset. I think that T-Coral's come in and he is just, you know, he's winning plaudits and he's having some brilliant series, but it's a tricky one to call.
Yeah, I think it's a tricky one to call. I think the X factor on the field right now, though, is Beastabonium. I think he's a guy that has really shown up and been a huge piece of this team with Andy and Delta. He's a guy that right here, you can see he kind of cuts in, gets upfield. He's willing to make some opportunities, tries to get one down to Delta, can't get it low enough, or Delta doesn't get high enough. Either way, they're not able to get enough of a touch on that one to get it down, but he's somebody that's really creative on getting forward and creating forward pass opportunities. So he's another guy. As much as I'm watching Andy and J-Pow just for that X-team kind of rivalry situation, Beastabonium's really somebody that's been a ton of fun to watch as he comes blasting across the line, takes out a defender just to try and break up that defensive rotation.
Definitely something for Azul to keep an eye out for, and he smashed the crossbar there, almost broke it in half. Powerful finish from the man that you identified as the danger man on this entire pitch, but it doesn't quite go in. Now both teams have had chances to score early on, but haven't quite managed it. Alpha's demo on Beastabonium looked like it would open the door for a second, but it wasn't quite to be, and now Delta can send that one all the way into the far corner. A little bit of ping-pong emerges between these two teams. We'll see which one is the first to break it and really slow things down and wrestle some control. It could be here, Beastabonium onto the backboard. It's missed by Delta, sorry, missed by J-Pow. Delta comes in and Delta scores.
Yeah, Beastabonium here gets the touch up high. J-Pow tries to make the read, ends up going a little late to it, and Delta just putting the big body, the biggest section, I guess that's not a big body, it's an octane, but he tried to make it as big as humanly possible, does just that, and is able to pinch it up and over the defense. Makes an awkward touch to where the last defender can't get there, and they're going to open this one up 1-0 as we get just under 3:30 off on the clock.
Oh, and he tries to double up. It's great play. Beastabonium's coming in. The backboard is just
2-0.
One amazing weakness for Xset right now. It's like they can't defend it at all, and it's 2-0.
Yeah, you can see Alpha Cap came down. J-Pow was already down. He probably should have stayed on the backboard there. Zero backboard defense. Nobody was up there. It looked like Alpha Cap wanted to go and then turned off. And that just opened up backboard goal.
Beautiful play. It was clean. All three players involved for Frontline, playing with confidence right now, and why not? When you're this close yet again to making the playoffs. Like they really belong at this level. Delta makes a save towards Beastabonium. It's Alpha Cap that wins the ball cleanly, though. It's saved at the near post by Delta. Now J-Pow in an awkward corner, wants to just shuffle his car around to get a clean touch, but actually, I was about to say it doesn't work out, but it was. You know, after the ball had gone, the bump opened up that play.
Yeah, easy goal there. Off that pinch. T-Coral, I don't think he even needed to touch it. I think it was just going in. Had it either way. T-Coral, you know, the new guy to the team, and he's been making an impact here. The squad has been playing, a bit better here since the swap. Making it in, Xset had some problems here to start off the grid and the RLCS X season in Regional 1. It's good to see them starting to piece some things together here. They are still down by 1. They're going to need to figure out something a little more.
This could be it, though. T-Coral to the sky, up against Delta, racing him, beating him, scoring as well. And this is the reason this guy has found so many fans that's coming into the team. Look at the pace that he shows.
Just so quick, up for it. He's really been somebody he's making an impact. It was one of those ones where I was hesitant on whether it was going to be a positive or negative impact on the team, especially when you had two guys that played together for so long, J-Pow and Alrez, that, you know, taking team chemistry out is always one of those questionable decisions and having to rebuild, but they've been able to piece this together pretty quick.
This is the side. It's well saved by the man in blue. Now Delta's on the backboard. The front line gets a 50-50 to the side for Alpha. Oh, I thought he could have just got a brief touch on that one, doinked it into the center, decided to flip and missed it. Good comeback from Xset there showing. Frontline are going to try and want to get back onto the front foot, but it's T-Coral. Alpha Cap then finishes the job that he started by sending this one all the way back. And Andy has to start again, but Alpha Cap closed him down quickly. Beastabonium's coming in. He's slowed down since his blistering start. The backboard is being defended now a lot better by Xset. And Beastabonium and the rest of Frontline are going to have to try and come up with another tact, because what was working before, the long balls, the speedy backboard plays, it's like Xset have learned that's what they were trying. So now I want to see the infield passes come in, or the bump plays, just the general squeezes of gameplay.
Beastabonium trying to go for the ball, ends up finding J-Pow instead. Demos starting to come out here. Delta picks one up as well. Andy in chase, not going to be able to get there in time as Alpha Kep up against Beastabonium. Gets it over him quick into the corner. Delta going to be able to bring this out. And again, blocked in the midfield. Both teams kind of just cutting these passing opportunities or shutting down these offensive pushes right in the midfield over and over and over again. I don't know if this ball has made it into an offensive third in the past 30 or 45 seconds.
Good block from Alpha Kep. Andy onto the backboard. Needs to be very careful of J-Pow right now. Beastabonium comes in. And he goes long. Who's going to win this one? It's Delta. T-Corel onto the sidewall where Delta is still waiting. Now J-Pow clears it away. And he's coming in. Neither team really able to keep too much control of this ball right now. It's clean hit after clean hit. But there's always a man in the opposite team colours that's waiting to deal with it and just pump it right back at him. J-Pow tries to slow it down. To the backboard it goes. This could be game one if it falls kindly for him, but Andy reads it. It looks like we're heading all the way to overtime. The backboard plays just aren't working, and after the 4 goals, this game has really slowed down. There was a couple of quick-fire pairs of goals, and since then, not too much to speak about for goal-mouth action.
Yeah, it really kind of slowed. I don't want to say it slowed down. It just has turned into a slugfest in the midfield. It's really just kind of, you know, everybody's just getting everything gunked up there, and it's not making it downfield into anything threatening.
This could be where it changes, though. The OT can always mix things up, Super, you know. Both teams looking out of ideas, and suddenly we go into it, and it's a completely different game. Let's see if that's what happens here. It's looking more similar than perhaps we hoped for. Just started to get a little bit pedestrian. J-Pow puts the one into the center. Beastabonium going high. Wants one of those clean backboard reads, but T-Corel gets the read there. Now Beastabonium onto the backboard again. They're still trying it. Credit to them, Frontline. They really backed this backboard play to happen, but down the other end, can they defend their own? Here comes J-Pow, saved by Andy.
Alpha Kep up against Beastabonium, trying to get the bump on the wall. That one's going to come off. Beastabonium still comes out of that, even with all the pressure on him, able to get a piece of the car on the ball. Andy in the corner. Opportunity to try and get a pass out. Gets 2 touches. Delta there to try and finish. J-Pow, though, in the way.
Beastabonium now 50-50 against J-Pow. This one's going in. Delta needs to be decisive. Any later, and he might have whacked that one into his own goal, but thankfully, for Frontline, that wasn't the case. And the ball ends up all the way down the other end. A 50-50 heavy game right now. Both teams just confident to keep the ball on the floor and back their teammates to read up. And it seems to be the defensive team that are doing so time and time again, no matter which team that is. Love to see Beastabonium find Andy here, which he does. Andy's onto the backboard. It's read by T-Corel. Delta wants to catch it and does. Second touch not quite right, though. Beastabonium needs to quickly adjust himself because he wasn't expecting it. But in the end, it doesn't really lead to much, and Alpha Kep can clear.
Alpha Kep actually not going to just clear. He's going to win the battle in the corner, bring it out, but Delta is there. Nobody else was upfield to even try and make a play on the ball as they were all back on defense. Yeah, shot on target, knocked away, though. 2 defenders there. Andy going to bring one down. Alpha Kep, though, in the back. Both teams playing. It's a bit more of the same, but it's almost just a touch slower because they're doing full rotations now. You almost always have somebody all the way back in the OT situation. J-Pow down off the backboard here, and Andy going to bring this one out once again. Stopped in the midfield. Andy going to have to make an awkward kind of slow touch. T-Corel up against it.
Frontline coming into this one.
Oh, Beastabonium!
Oh, finally! Try again. If at first you don't succeed. The backboard play works, Super. They backed themselves to make it happen, and Beastabonium, your man, managed exactly that.
The backboard is the situation or the problem child for Xset. That seems to be where everything's coming from. Beastabonium scores that last one off of it. They opening goal. They did the three touches off the backboard, and I believe the second one, I think all 3 of them were facilitated by the backboard. My
dream right now, Super, is that at some point in game number 2, we're going to see, I'm going to whisper it, an infield pass. Because there was a severe lack of them I would say, in that
100%.
first game. It was backboard, 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 which is great for a game, sure. We get that all 6 of you can manage that, but there are other ways to score. So let's hope they've got their coaches speaking to them right now, and they're going to say, boys, just put it in the middle. They're defending the backboard valiantly. Let's just, let's try something different, right? That's my theory of what we're going to see here.
Well, I will second that and hope that it occurs. I would definitely like to see some infield passes and a little bit more creativity where it really has. It's been banging it off the backboard. There's been a couple loose shots they've just decided to take from, a third of the way out the field, which really isn't that threatening if somebody's back on defense. Again, this is really the story, right? They keep coming off of the sidewall into these second touches where they either just try and take that shot or backboard it. And it gets predictable, and that's why after those first 4 goals and both teams kind of doing that to each other, everything just slowed down because neither team tried to do anything different. Shot from Andy, saved by T Coral.
Yes, Delta. Yes, Andy, that's what we love to see. Yeah,
Corel. T Corelli from the chat. I appreciate you guys. I'll get there eventually.
That's all right. We'll manage it, mate. J-Pow onto the backboard.
That's what it really is. He's a Corelli fanboy. That's where the name came from. I don't know where the name originated from, so that's the story I'm going with for now.
I mean, it's a family name, but the family have been a fanboy of Corelli for generations.
Yes,
it's amazing.
Generations.
They knew that he'd turn into the greatest Rocket League casters ever on the earth.
It was prophesized.
It was a long time ago. So too was the infield pass that Frontline managed earlier. As well saved, actually, by Xset. Delta has another one, goes on the backboard. This time it's a good decision, though, because there was no defenders, and Alpha kept great save on the goal line. And then J-Pow can finish the job with a big boom here. It's only going to come back to Delta, though. And he can go again. This time a little bit less distance on the ball. Trying to tempt Xset off their backboard. Bisabonium's wrestling in. He's got a teammate trying to arrive, but J-Pow will beat him to it. It's a miss from J-Pow, though, after that first touch. A bit more pressure from Frontline, and they've started game 2 the better.
They have started the game the better. I think one of the issues right now for Xset, as well as they do on offense, right? When they get down the field, it seems like they have a plan. Something's going on. T. Corral's been there to finish off the ball, make plays. Defensively, there is a lot of double commit situations. T. Corral going to go up, though, get in the way, opens the net for Alpha Cap. And again, their offense is clicking. The defense, though, they end up with some double commit situations that may allow this game to go on longer than it should. It feels like the offense is there. If they can clean up defense rotations, it really feels like the series should go their way.
Well, let's see if that's how it shapes up. We've got Xset that have this lead in the second game. They are a game down, of course. That goal would have meant a lot to them because they've been defending for an awful lot of this second one. Delta goes round J-Pow, and he's coming in. It's almost a fake up against T. Corral. Bisabonium's coming in, has a clean shot. Does he take it? Oh, it's well saved again by Alpha Cap. And Xset's defense has really stepped up in this second game. They are so often looking like they're about to concede, and then from nowhere, in flies a hero in orange, and they just, they're saving it somehow, time and time again.
Yeah, they've been in a lot of kind of scramble defense situations where they're having to do a shadow defense play on it. Again, J-Pow and Alpha Cap both expending boost there, though, as Alpha Cap didn't have faith in J-Pow's touch. So there are things where there's openings and they're causing some problems. T. Corral able to get there at the last second, and Alpha Cap going to have to knock one away. They're not able to maintain possession long enough. When they do get downfield with possession of the ball, they do really well. They create good shot opportunities, but they're just not winning the midfield battle enough to end up getting downfield for it.
Yeah, there's a lot of hits into the backboard and into the center that just, there's no one there to read them. Look how far back Andy is here. That could have been a clean shot for him, but he's all the way back down the other end, trying to pick himself up 100 boost. Go for some pads, lads.
Yeah.
You don't need a full tank to be able to get onto the end of passes like that.
He should have had that, and Bisabonium thought that he was there, because Beast could have braked and made a play on that ball. He could have tried to make an awkward touch, try and side flip it in, do something with it. But he thought somebody was coming up, and Andy was nowhere to be found.
Yes, it's better, though, from Frontline now. I saw Bisabonium cutting rotation a couple of times. I think they were just starting to feel a little bit too comfortable in this series, thinking that, the goals would come. They didn't have to force them, where it seems now maybe the fact that they haven't scored in the last 4 minutes of gameplay started to shake them out of that thought process a little bit, which is what they needed. But what they don't need is Xset coming forward down the other end. Great touch from Delta when it looked like TFL, I think it was about to pull the trigger. Beastabonium comes in. He's looked most likely for Frontline throughout this second game. He gets a bump, he gets a touch, and he gets a pass towards Andy. And with 32 left, it's 1-1.
Right here, Beastabonium gonna beat out Corel, gets it around him, gets the bump on J-Pal. Alpha Kep's trying to make the read, and Andy threads the needle. Able to punch that into that bottom left corner.
See, is there going to be another nice long overtime on the way? Well, one of these teams get the winner in the next 30 seconds or so. Good flip reset from Andy. He's come to life all of a sudden. He's actually knocked Delta's hit as well. So now TFL can come in, beat Beastabonium to it. Alpha Kep and J-Pal both want a piece of that bull. We've definitely sped up right now, Super. The series has come to life with that goal. And I think that from a viewing spectacle, that's going to be an important one for the rest of this series.
Yeah, it's put a little emphasis on these players to get something going. They're getting up quicker. They're all speeding up. That one's going to ground out. Actually bounces last possible second. TFL trying to put one downfield. Andy, though, going to ground it out. OT here in game number 2.
Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. The last one lasted a long old time. Well, this one too. Maybe not if Alpha Kep is beating in defenders to the ball cleanly like that. But then Andy does the same against TFL. J-Pal has to be really careful and keep a close eye on the player in blue closest to him, even though Andy had been taken out of the play, so maybe if he had lost to it, it wouldn't have mattered too much. TFL comes in, he's got the double tap, has he? Not quite, he went for it, and Beastabonium has a chance to counter down the other end.
Andy trying to get creative here over the top of J-Pal. Not going to have any of that. Delta, kind of a high touch. We're getting back into a volleyball match here. Alpha Kep going to ground that one out, but Andy in the wing, just waiting. Can Beastabonium get the 50? Kind of gets the 50. Ends up knocking it back, so Delta's able to make a play on this ball. And J-Pal, again, we're getting into this battle where it is starting to edge down towards that net. Finally, they're able to break out. TFL going to bring it out against Delta. Can't do anything with it. Beastabonium into the corner. Loses possession. It's kind of a weird read there from Beast. He just lost the read on the ball completely as it came down out of that bottom transition. I would have expected him to start rolling that one down and try and create some sort of threat on net.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a burst of life after the goal came in before OT, but since the time has started ticking upwards, we just seem to have gone back to relative safety for all of these players. I think Beastabonium's going to be most likely to change that. He seems to be the keenest to start a dribble, to half rotate, really try and surprise Xset when they are in defense. It's a good infield pass, and he can shoot. Ooh. Can he finish it here? Almost. TFL in the bottom corner gets the save, but it was the infield pass that broke them up.
Alpha got that save. Last second. He actually did a backflip, caught a bicycle kick save there at the last moment. He had seen this before where he missed one, and he has corrected, made the adjustments needed to get in front of that ball. Barely saving that one. I thought that one was going in. There was a ton of heat on that from Andy.
Nearly, but not quite. This one's onto the backboard. J-Pal with an awkward touch. It's a good setup, though, for TFL until Beastabonium reads it. Delta with a second chance to finish it. Alpha Kep saves onto the post, and he's coming in against J-Pal, but J-Pal, what a 50-50 from him. Sends TFL on his way. What can he turn this into? He's got a chance to flick. Instead, he just hops.
Oh!
J-Pal scores, and Xset equalize the series.
1-1 in the series here off of this lift from TFL. Opens it up. J-Pal there immediately to finish it. First time they've gotten downfield like that in that entire OT, and they kind of set the house. They put a lot of emphasis on getting downfield there, where previously they were really playing defense. If you look at the stats here, 16 saves on the side of Xset. Defense getting it done. 18 shots on the side of Frontline. That has to hurt. That series offensively was controlled by Frontline, and Xset just there every time to knock it away.
That is wild. So wait, 16 saves and 18 shots. That is absolutely unbelievable defense from Xset. Looking at those numbers, I cannot believe that they have won that second game. That'll be absolutely huge for the way they're feeling going into the third.
That's a big one. If you had the wind knocked out of you in the first one, it is refilled. You have more than you need to get through. You know that you can make the stand defensively. You know you can weather the storm. So now it's how do we get the offense piece together? Let's go ahead, weather the storm, figure out a different way to clear this ball out, to create opportunities. Great defense there from Alpha Cap to make the decision to make that demo, as his other players were not in a great position to make a save if they were going to be able to get the touch. So Alpha Cap's defense is one that I was kind of on in game one, where I was like, you know, he should have been on the backboard. He's kind of leaving that open. And since then, Alpha Cap has cleaned up a ton defensively. He has been in the right spot time and time again.
Alpha Cap here. Oh, I didn't even see Andy. He was hidden by the pool. Was it the same for you?
I had a little bit better view on that. I thought that he was going to squeak it out wide. I tend to sit in auto cam all day.
Okay, yeah. For me, basically, Andy was literally completely hidden. So I was like, wait, is this going in? And then it wasn't. That one too could have gone in. Okay, few chances at the start of this third game. It's a faster paced one. Exactly what we want to see. Good touch from Andy. Wants to kill this ball. He goes for the Doomsy Dish instead, but TFL saw what was coming and stayed firm. Gets a touch of his own. Has he still got his dodge? He hasn't. He doesn't need it. It's onto the post. Who's arriving? Oh, Alpha kept too late. No one saw what TFL was capable of there. Disappointing, but he gets another chance going. This time, Andy saves. Wow, what a start.
There are some holes where TFL ends up double committing. He ends up being a little too far up offensively. It hasn't fully settled in, but what he has been doing throughout this series, he has been a very key figure in this series. I think that he is playing up to the competition. I think that he has been more than what you could ask for out of somebody that has, you know, he has experience in the CRL, right? He's familiar with competition, but coming up to the RLCS, he's impressing me.
Yeah, he looks like he owns the place now as he's growing more and more into this series.
Yeah.
He's really starting to stand head and shoulders above everybody else right now. Let's see if he can continue, because with all the praise that we are giving TFL right now, his team still remain deadlocked in the third game and even in games, which I won't be too pleased about. An infield pass, maybe this time. Oh my goodness, saved again.
It opens up.
And it's a counter-attack. J-Pow's going to finish it. And for all the talk of Ninja infield passes, Xset really are good at reading them when they do happen, aren't they?
Yeah, Xset's defense is holding really, really strong. They saw that coming all day. That touch off Beastabonium, not quite in the spot that Andy should have committed for it. He did not. It's one of those situations where unless you're feeling like I've got that ball, like 90% Alpha Cap gonna come in, bangs one in through the defense, reading things through traffic, opens it up 2-0 as we approach the halfway mark here in game 3, and it looks like it is all Xset at this moment.
They are probably on paper slightly the better team, I would say. They shade it just over Frontline, but it wasn't starting like it would look like that. They're really starting now to gain a head of steam and they look faster than Frontline do. They look more hungry than them, I would say, as well.
They look like they're more composed, that there's more of an idea of what the game plan is. You can see that they're looking for defensive opportunities to open up plays for them. So they're playing strong D and trying to turn that around. Andy, though, nobody's going to be able to get that one. What a touch from Andy off the back wall. Just going to bang this one in off the pass from Delta. Bink. Free goal.
That was a nice noise. I enjoyed that.
That's, you know, people call it dinks. I like the noise bink a little bit more.
Interesting.
I don't know why. My brain's just weird like that.
You'll start a new internet fanboy war of Bink versus Dink. I'll join you on Team Bink. I'm up for that.
All right, cool. You're my first recruit. I like this. All right. We've got 2 members of Team Bink.
Team Bink, let's go. Well, we need Team Frontline to go as well if we're to see a third overtime in a row. Beastabonium comes flying in against Alpha Ket, but J-Power just looks at the ball and thinks, okay, I'll take the ball myself then. Falls to Beastabonium down the other end. He's defending now, and has he found Andy? No, he hasn't. Andy is called off it, so Beastabonium can continue, but his solo play doesn't take him too far. So a minute and 20 seconds left in this one. So lots of time for Frontline to come back. Alpha Ket's touch is towards Beastabonium. He's chasing it down as well. Wants to block off J-Power at source. Doesn't quite manage to do it. And he's going to be coming in now. Delta with a double tap of sorts off the side wall. Now he goes into the center, but TFL reads it. And air dribbles away beautifully. It's read by Andy, but his touch is only as far as J-Power. This could be 3 if they play their cards right here. Alpha Ket's coming in. This could be the finish.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
And he gets it from one end to the other. 3-1 Xset.
offense coming alive here, really catching, well, I don't know if it's necessarily their offense fully coming alive here, or if Frontline is just overcommitting at this situations. They're getting almost every time they've scored the goal here. Both of AlphaCap's goals, all 3 defenders are facing their own net, and they're in a situation where they're trying to triple shadow defend the net. And that's not going to work for long, and you can see that getting broken down.
This is not quite working for them at all. For one reason or another, for Frontline, for all their efforts, Xset are just dealing with everything they're chucking at them right now. They'll need to change that pretty much immediately if they're to have a chance in what is game number 3. Beastabonium has an opportunity to do that. To the ceiling he goes, mixing up his range of attack. It's well saved by T-Corel, and then J-Pow. Look at the pace, the read to get that all-important next touch, and a few more seconds disappear from the clock.
Beastabonium, really, I was talking about him at the start of the series, saying that that's the guy that I'm looking to have a big game if they're going to take this one down. He's really kind of that player that if you need to go through the solo ability, get out there, make plays happen. AlphaCap going to be able to sneak this one in again. Once again, overcommitted downfield. I get it in this situation based on the time, but 3 of these goals on net have come in situations where there's just nobody there, and they're able to just bully them as they take the shots.
That was just so funny, seeing the players dance around the ball. The orange one's desperately trying not to hit it because it's already going in. While the blue guy just wanted to get a foot in, try and poke it away, but was never able to do it. And in the end, that is a bit of a thrashing on the side of Xset. All the goals going to them. There was only one for Frontline. It finishes 4-1. And AlphaCap, what performance from him, 3 goals, but also T-Corel. He really stood up that game.
He's stood up the entire series for me. He is that guy that has been showing up. He's been kind of everywhere. You can see times where, like I said, he's overcommitted, double committed in some situations, but based on the time they've been playing together, you watch for the infield passes where they're doing aerial infield passes, and you can see how quickly he is getting up. AlphaCap's calling out a pass. He's up before AlphaCap even hits it, and same thing with J-Pow. He's been very, very quick to the ball. So he's showing off some team chemistry there that I wouldn't expect them to have quite yet.
Let's see if they can continue that for what could be the last game in this series, unless Frontline really step up and manage to get a few more goals on the scoreboard. They scored 3 in game 1, and since then, they've only scored 1 in game 2 and 1 in game 3. So the goals forced that. Not looking too hot for the team in blue right now. But an early one for them could change all that as Delta flicks it on. T-Corel is just waiting to see what Andy puts over him. Instead, it's Andy that continues, actually. T-Corel's the backboard, wins it in the end. He was tracking that the entire time. Alpha's coming in, and it's just not quite working yet again for Frontline on the off. They were trying to build up some pressure, but Xset, eventually they just find themselves with a free dribble at the ball. Into the sky they go, and it's right down in blue territory.
Blue is going to try and make a play here. Delta going to be able to bring this one out. Beastabonium on it. He's just going to take a shot from the midfield, power one down. That's going to go to AlphaCap, who has to make a powerful clear into the corner, which gave Andy an opportunity, but he's going to lose that 50. Delta, Andy, both taking their time, end up getting the read off J-Pow down. Beastabonium makes a smart decision to go ahead and turn off of that and not overcommit, which was an issue for them in the last match, but ends up whipping that one, causing Andy to have to come in a daring dive. Rotations just aren't clean. Delta, though, what a touch. AlphaCap diving save. That was a nasty touch from Delta.
The sort of shot you do not want to be saved when Delta gets that flick and it ends up going all the way towards the top corner. You're just thinking, go on, Xset, let it in. Let's see the pretty replay. But it was not to be, and I think that you mentioned earlier that Frontline's rotations in defense don't seem to be as strong as they were. And I think a big part for that is that now the first man from Xset is actually staying forward. He's going for bumps, or he's offering a pass out, which just wasn't happening in the first, I would say, game and a half. And that's making it so much more difficult for Frontline to defend, and it's making it easier for Xset to get these goals that they're getting right now.
Yeah, I 100% agree. J-Pow's kind of playing that third man role right now. AlphaCap and T-Corelli, they're playing downfield, and they're staying up. Each one of them, regardless of which one of them takes over the number 1 spot when they go forward, is looking for bumps, looking for demos, looking to clear things out. Beastabonium going to take J-Pow off the field, though. AlphaCap fills the gap, bombs one downfield. Andy is there, though.
Pass out wide to T-Corral from J-Pow. Good pass. The demo comes in from Beastabonian, though. That could open things up. No, it won't. Can Alpha Cap slow
Good
roll this one
bounce.
enough? He
No.
couldn't quite read it. It was just
Those are
watching.
so hard.
It was like a staring contest with the ball, Super. You're thinking, where are you gonna bounce? And he didn't quite win it.
When it has that much speed and it's that low to the ground on the bounce, it's so hard to tell what kind of bounce it's going to take out of it because it's landing just dead perfectly in that curve, and a pixel difference causes a few degrees of difference in the actual ball. J-Pow can't get it on target. T-Corral had the demo. And again, that offense downfield, they're staying forward. They're getting bumps. They're opening things up. J-Pow just hasn't been able to finish it, but he finishes that one on the dunk. J-Pow gonna open this one up for Xset 1-0.
J-Pow kapow! Look at the dunk. And the first touch as well. Somehow his car had absolutely no recoil at all. He followed it beautifully, forces it into the goal. And Xset is so close now to a 3-1 series victory. They've just got to see it away and really put Frontline to the curb. Can they continue to do it? It's Alpha kept onto the backboard. Up against Delta. J-Pow is just in need of being a little bit careful here because his teammate was being bumped. But look at the control. Suddenly J-Pow has come alive. And Xset look even better because of it.
Alpha Cap dodges Delta, able to bring this one out. I think what it is the J-Pow's finally on the right map. He's got the dragon skin on the car, or the decal. He's got the dragon goal explosion.
It's shiny.
It's just the right map. We're on, it's just the right map. That's what it is.
Yeah. It suits the shininess of his car as well. Everything about it
100%.
is beautifully in sync, yin and yang, as it should be. You love to see it. You also would love to see Alpha Cap come from the ceiling here. Instead, he takes the touch and lowers it. Almost another dunk and an own goal! I'm certain that was an own goal that time, and it was Delta, the unlucky man on the goal line.
Alpha Cap wins this 50 last second, gets that roll over Beastabonium. Delta tries to make that save. I don't want to ever have to be in Delta's situation there because I would have hit that with so much more power into my own goal. He didn't. At least he didn't just bomb it in. That is such a rough situation for Delta to be in.
It seems that the mechanics now of Xset are so much better than they have been at any other point in the series. They've been slowly growing into it, improving more and more. And now it's just the quick swoops with the ball, the little nipped touches past
Delta wins.
And then down the other end, Delta can't make up for his own goal. That could have put him back in it, but he's missed it, Super. So near, so far.
That might be the series right there.
Agreed.
That whiff may have been the final shot that they were really going to have to try and tie this one up. Down to 15 on the clock. Beastabonium going to take a shot. He has to. Doesn't have a choice. Tries to put one out in the mid. Andy's going to try and turn too far, though. Can't get a cut in. Delta now up. Trying to sneak one in. J-Pow is there to fill the hole. Beastabonium up off the backboard. Tries to double touch. Gets it. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, but it is faint. It is tiny. It is small, but it's there. Beastabonium giving them a chance to stay in this series.
Ladies and gentlemen, buckle your seatbelts. This OT could be the most important in Frontline's career. Does it pop up to give an opportunity? Yes, it does. Delta's won it. Beastabonium's coming in. Delta gets the next touch as well. Andy, Beastabonium, they're all fancying a chunk of the ball, but neither of them quite commit to it. In the end, it's Andy. The demo comes in, though, from Xset. And despite a last-second bit of scariness from Team Frontline, it's a 3-1 Xset victory, who move on to 2-1 in the Swiss.
Xset pulls off the spaceman sweep. Lose the first game, come alive through the next three, though. And really, the end of that series was Alpha Cap and J-Pow coming alive. T-Corral had a lot of influence throughout games 2 and 3. Not so much game 3. That was an Alpha Cap and J-Pow show there. Alpha Cap really getting it done. His defense was really kind of what I harped on in game 1. Stepped that up, cleaned that up, and once that defense cleaned up, it became almost impossible for them to score goals.
I'm going to be honest, towards the start of this series, I was a little bit disappointed with Xset. The way they were playing, they weren't showing any creativity at all. And this is the team that I've heard a lot about, and I've been watching pick up some good results in the grid and in the regionals as well, and it just wasn't happening. But as you mentioned, Soup, when they finally started to play their own game, to play with freedom and to look confident, they were so much better. So for Xset, my advice for them would be, in their next series, which will be even harder, they have to just go on the front foot from the off, play like they deserve to be here, like they are going to make these playoffs, and they have every opportunity of doing so.
100% agree. If they can get down, they can get it done. They just need to take off, get downfield, create some opportunities. I 100% agree with you. Take that advice, Xset, if you hear it.
Well, there's even more Rocket League to come, and you can speak about it on Twitter by @RL Esports and using the hashtag RLCSX. But that is all from Super and me, but there's more Rocket League to come on the E-League stream. Be back in a few minutes.